Chances are, if you clicked on this video, you have almost no idea what Dungeons and Dragons is, and that's okay. You know, it's like that thing that people do and they usually have dice. If this is your reaction, don't worry. We'll explain what the heck is going on in the easiest way possible if you've never played before.
So you play D&D, right?
Yes.
So what is D&D?
Well, D&D is a game. You play it with your friends to have fun. It's similar to board games because it's typically played around a table, but it plays way differently than Monopoly or cards.
Okay, well, what do you do in D&D?
Well, the goal of D&D is actually closer to most video games, to interact with the game world and progress a story. But it differs from video games in one key way. The game world and story is told by a single person at the table instead of a computer.
Oh, like an open world video game. But who tells the story then?
This important person gets a special name, the Dungeon Master. Instead of buttons and joysticks to explore, you accomplish this by asking questions and telling the Dungeon Master what you want your character to do.
Wait, but this is a game you play with friends. So what do the other people that aren't the Dungeon Master do?
Oh, the other people playing the game are the ones that are interacting with the story that the Dungeon Master is telling. Their actions affect the story and make things happen.
Okay, but is there a book or something that the Dungeon Master reads from?
Well, yes and no. There are pre-made stories that you can read from, but many players prefer to write their own.
So does the Dungeon Master come up with everything by themselves?
Oh, God, no. There are some essential books that go through rules, items, and places that they can use for their campaigns. You know, even some cool baddies in there for you guys to fight.
Okay, that sounds like a lot of work. But at least there are rules to help. How do you actually play the game, though?
Well, the game is determined through dice rolls. The players take turns doing stuff and roll the dice after. Each action you take has a chance to succeed and fail, depending how good your roll is.
That sounds like a lot of work to keep track of.
It can be, but that's why you take notes about what happens to help you remember.
I have to take notes? That sounds like even more work.
It's not too bad, actually. It isn't boring like school notes. You can just jot down quickly stuff to help you remember, you know, the important events, items, people, or just the funny things that happen.
Oh, okay. So do I play as myself or do I get to pick a character?
Well, the books mentioned earlier have pre-made ones that you can choose from.
Aw, man, I don't get to pick my own?
Oh, pre-made is just an option. Of course you can make your own character. You can get as detailed as you want to be with it too. You can choose their backstory, what class they are, what weapons they use, all that good stuff. However, if it's your first time playing, I would recommend using a pre-made. Making a character can take a lot of time, and it can even overwhelm you with how many possibilities all at once there are to choose from.
Alright, so the Dungeon Master can use the special books to tell the story, but what do the players use to play then?
Each player will have a character sheet in front of them with their stats and whatever stuff they need to keep track of, like spells or anything they're carrying. Think a sword or some gold. Oh, and a shiny set of dice to roll.
Cool, so maybe, hypothetically, theoretically, possibly, I wanted to play. How many people do I need?
Well, when playing for the first couple of times, a smaller group of 3 to 4 friends is perfect. That way, everyone has a chance to interact with the story without talking over each other. If you want, though, the more the merrier, but think like 8 people max.
If D&D is kind of a board game, do we all have to be in the same room to play?
The future is now, brother, and no, you don't. D&D works great over a simple voice call, so a FaceTime or Discord chat works even better.
Sweet. That may have sounded a bit vague, but that's kind of the beauty of Dungeons and Dragons. It's very open and allows unlimited amounts of freedom when playing to do whatever you and your party's heart desires.
Dungeons and Dragons is very hard to explain without actually getting into it and playing it yourself. So if this video interested you at all, I really recommend getting a small group of close-minded friends together and hashing it out.
Or even check out our channel and learn some more about D&D to see if you're interested in it.
Go ahead and follow Rolling Deep on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and try to catch us live here on YouTube, Twitch, or over on Reddit.
Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and keep on rolling. But what if you do assume I know more than 8 people?
Well, even better.